This is called The God's Honest Truth, The Real Devils. I was made aware this week of a bill that's being passed to do with anti-semitism, 6090 bill in the US, which could be used to remove the passages from the New Testament Bible where Jesus takes down the Jewish leaders, showing them up to be hypocrites. Now this may lead to either the Bible being altered or removed completely, but I think this is a corporate persecution by the very people who have persecuted their own. In the Bible, Jesus quotes in John 8:44, "You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of all lies." And then I watched Tovia Singer, a Jewish rabbi, take on this anti-Semitism topic, and he said that the Jews were always painted out to be devils because of the texts that relate to Jews in the Bible and the fact that it is written that they wanted to kill him at the crucifixion, which they did. Now, as a Christian in my homeland Britain, I have not experienced anti-Semitism towards Jews, as it's a rare occurrence to even meet a Jew, but they are around, especially in central Birmingham. I've always grown up with a positive view of Jews, to the point of reverence. The fact that we share the law of Moses made it kind of interchangeable from my experience, and obviously it's to do with like the first part of our Bible anyway. But I know that they do not accept Jesus. This was more for the Gentiles, I feel, and I have a strong feeling that they will accept Jesus in the second coming and they'll get it. And it was for a purpose anyway, the way it worked out. And like to demonstrate how they hold to the law, you know, like they demonstrate the law of Moses, you know, in a strong and pure kind of way. Rabbi Tovia Singer expresses that he had a hard time growing up and was persecuted for being a Jew, and it was in the US, and I know nothing of that kind of racial climate at that time. He has a very negative view of Christians usually anyway, and it seems to spend a lot of time discrediting Christianity by pulling it to pieces. I don't know if this is based in a genuine counter-hatred for the way he was treated, or whether it lies in just the outright rejection in the Christian perspective altogether. And with this new bill yet to be passed, it will probably outlaw something very important about Jewish history, if it goes through, and attempt to raise an ultimate truth that will bring a saving grace to everyone. With all the reveals I've had over the last year, with about the serpent seed line derived from Satan and Cain, his offspring, it seems to me that there has been a lot going down centuries to oppress genuine Orthodox Jews who are God-fearing, up to the present day, using anti-Semitism on your average Jew as a weapon by corporate persecution to silence Christianity's perspective. We are starting to witness real Orthodox Jews and Christians being persecuted and victimised by the state who have no voice, including myself with the V2K. No one represents us but this fake Jew that they seem to keep putting out is a cover. I believe that we have a very wicked hardcore establishment who are making these laws, who I believe the Rothschilds and whatever other line was before them that descends back from Babylon, who are anti-Semitic Jews that are Satan worshippers, not to be mixed up with the Orthodox Jews, as I've said before. They're actually trying to cover themselves because these ones, you know, that have brought up most of the world, and they are the evil ones, and they oppress Orthodox Jews and use them as a cover, I believe, up until the Holocaust. And these sorcerer Jews are the ones that are the anti-Semitic deniers, so the very thing that they accuse us of, they're doing anyway, because they rule the world. And they're covering their tracks by saying and seem to be doing good for their poorer counterparts, God-fearing Orthodox Jews, as I've just said, which I believe they are being held under siege for a long time. And not only that, Zionists who claim to be Christian at core are not your normal Christians neither. They are change agents in the name of false Christianity, which I think is like George Bush and Tony Blair and like all those, people that were all in each other's pockets during like the major wars. And the false name of Christianity, which is a demonic core again, mainly for land grab and ultimate totalitarian control, who I believe the Rothschilds and are Zionists, globalists and all the same thing. They use their change agents, which are all under the umbrella of Freemasonry, to infiltrate somehow. I'm still researching this, but I know that it all links together. Also, as in my last video, God has been pressing on my heart how much scribble of men's laws and interpretations have been placed around the Ten Commandments, Moses' law, which I know the Jews, Christians and Islam acknowledges, and how true meaning is watered down with the tree of knowledge, like man's knowledge, So what they sort of scribble all around it, these people, your average person have to follow it, and it's all unnecessary, like the main core of it is Jesus and his words, or, the God, Moses' law and all that, like that's the true, and like everything else is like it should be stripped away, I saw a documentary, which I will link in the description box, about the Rothschilds and how they own Israel and how they loaned money to both sides of the war and made a lot of money out of it. Does that sound familiar to today, with the takedowns of countries to gain access for their new world order land grab, such as Ukraine, I think, and the displacement of peoples into other countries with no regard for them or their culture? They want to rule the world and look like they are in full steam ahead right now. Because of Rabbi Tovia Singer's influence, I know he could have to play the mainline narrative as the Rothschilds are monsters of influence, but I fear for the Jews being persecuted again. But I know the US is heading for a massive correction via God to bring these wicked people into global power into account. God told me that he was going to bring laughter to all nations, and I believe it's in the revealing of the true knowledge that's been hidden since time has begun. Luke 12:2-3, King James Version. For there is nothing covered that will not be revealed, nor hidden that will not known. Therefore, whatever you have spoken in the dark will be heard in the light, and what you have spoken in the air in inner rooms will be proclaimed on the housetops.